You know those reports you see? The ones packed with amazing stats about some new tech that makes you think, wow, we have to get this. Well, ever stop to think where that report actually came from? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on exactly that. We're diving into the world of vendor-sponsored research. And trust me, it's a place where expert insights and, let's say, commercial interests, they get a little tangled up.
Just so you know where we are, this is part 3 of our 5-part explainer series. We're breaking down a really important report from Virtualization Options LLC called Integrity Under Siege, the crisis of vendor-sponsored research. And in this part, we're really getting into the nuts and bolts, how this kind of research is actually made and what the big risks are.
And listen, this isn't just some abstract academic thing we're talking about. I want you to picture a real boardroom. Right now, you've got people making multi-million-dollar decisions. Betting the whole company's strategy based on what they're reading in these reports. The stakes? They are incredibly high.
So, what's the big deal? Why are these reports everywhere? Well, the appeal is pretty obvious, right? They promise to be a roadmap, a clear path through this super complicated, always changing world of tech.
And this right here, this is the heart of the problem. It's this constant tug of war. On one side, you've got the promise, right? You get these expert insights that are supposed to give you an edge. But then, on the other side, you've got the peril. You've got these hidden biases that can totally twist the truth and send your whole organization down a really, really bad path.
Okay, next up, the structural conflict. So let's get right to the core of it. We're not talking about a few bad apples here. This is something that's literally built into the system itself. It's structural.
What we're looking at is a textbook conflict of interest. Think about it. The same company that's footing the bill for the research is also the one that's going to make a ton of money if the results look good. That creates this tension that you just can't get away from. Suddenly, the search for objective truth gets all mixed up with the need to protect a brand and, sell more stuff.
So that's the big question, right? If we know the money itself is a potential problem, how does that actually change the research we end up reading? Where does the rubber meet the road? How does it physically warp the data that we're all supposed to be relying on?
And this is so important, because the influence, it doesn't start on page 1 of the report. Oh no, it starts way, way before that. It's all about controlling the conversation from the very beginning, by deciding which questions are even allowed to be on the table.
So here's how it plays out, step by step. First, you've got priority setting. The sponsors, they make sure the researchers are only asking questions that are pretty much guaranteed to make their products look good. Step 2, topic suppression. Anything that might be even a little bit critical or unflattering, that just disappears. It never gets studied. And the final result, the big consequence of all this, is that our whole public understanding of these technologies gets completely skewed. We end up with these massive blind spots about the real risks.
Okay, so we've seen how they set the agenda. Now, let's zoom in a little. Let's talk about the specific tactics of manipulation, the tricks of the trade used inside the reports to make sure the story comes out just right.
And there are a few big ones you see all the time. Things like cherry-picking only the data that makes you look good, or demanding that you get to review and, let's be honest, censor the report before anyone else sees it. And sometimes they just hide the fact that they paid for it at all. It's a whole toolbox of influence.
And check this out. This is a perfect example of that cherry-picking we just talked about. This quote, you've got this super alarming language, right? Hemorrhage IT costs, and this big scary number, 88%. What's that designed to do? It's designed to make you panic. And wouldn't you know it, the company that sponsored the report just happens to sell the perfect cure for that panic. It's not analysis, it's marketing with footnotes.
And this is the really critical takeaway here. This is way more than just clever marketing. It's turning the entire scientific method completely on its head. Normally, you follow the evidence wherever it leads, right? But here, they start with the conclusion they want, our product is the best, and then they go hunting for any piece of data that backs that up, while just tossing out anything that doesn't fit. It's backwards.
Okay, another huge tool in the toolbox is what's called pre-publication review. Here's how it works. The vendor writes it into the contract that they get to see the report before it's published. That's step 1, control. And what does that control let them do? Well, step 2 is censorship. They can just erase critical findings, or they can soften the language. Make it sound not so bad. The consequence? It's obvious. The report that finally comes out is just less credible. It's lost its transparency.
So let's talk about the price of influence. When you start adding all this stuff up, the agenda setting, the cherry picking, the censorship, what's the real cost? What's the final bill for all this influence?
Well, the bottom line is pretty stark. What we're left with is a whole landscape of research that basically just reflects what the vendors want to sell us. It's not about what we as a society or even just as customers actually need to know to make good decisions. And that creates some seriously dangerous blind spots in how we understand the real impact of all this technology.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one thought to chew on. Imagine you're planning a trip. If the person selling you the ridiculously expensive all-inclusive resort is also the person who drew the only map you have, how much are you going to trust their directions? Really, how confident can you be that you're actually headed the right way?